Hi everyone, this is your reading for the week of November 24th, or whenever you see the titles of the cards and they resonate with you. But I think this is really powerful for all of us right now for this period because the energy is heavy. And the first card that we're getting is Hopelessness. Now that's the card we're being asked to contemplate and look at. I'm going to read it to you because I think it's very relevant for a lot of what we're going through right now. Certainly in terms of worldview, and often, as you know, because of group conscious mind, that will filter into our own personal circumstances. It tends to show up in different ways, but here's the content. Hopelessness is usually linked to the thought that things will never change, us, others, or circumstances. It's a heavy energy and has no momentum because it presupposes that there's nothing that can change the situation or that state. It's usually accompanied with a sense of powerlessness. Often, it's based on old disappointments, but is triggered by current events that resonate with something similar from the past. When I look at hopelessness, I don't think of it just as somebody being able to say, oh, there's no hope. It can often show up as a kind of apathy, lack of motivation, lack of imagination, because those are things that we'll kind of use as a way to not challenge the hopelessness and the quality of powerlessness behind that. What I think is really also important is that because there's a quality of powerlessness to it, it can lead us back to times when we felt powerless in situations. And what's valuable about noticing that, but noticing the feeling that comes up around that lack of powerlessness or that lack of power and that hopelessness about it, is that it really usually is something that kind of slows us down, but it doesn't just slow us down. It tends to create the kind of thought patterns around powerlessness. And what it can also do is it can kind of create this lens through which we see everything. So if we have felt unable to change things that we didn't like when we were younger, or if we were constantly waiting for something that we didn't get, that repeated sense of disappointment creates the expectation of failure or not having. And one of the things that can happen with that is, because it's very linked obviously to our neural patterns, it's really valuable to pay attention to when we start feeling that sense of hopelessness or can't, and see where that goes back to mirroring, or where it comes from in the past that mirrors that quality. I think that one of the things that we also it's valuable to look at now at this point in time is because there is so much chaos going on and there is so much fear and there is almost an expectation. There's a quality of expecting the worst that often goes with hopelessness. So I think it's really valuable to understand that we don't really want that energy. Number one, it's not good for our physiology. Number two, it just keeps repeating those negative patterns of powerlessness, however they show up. I'll never be able to do that. It's just me. I'll never be able to change. And even if we are given options to change, the ability to engage in them, often we feel powerless to actually do them. And so it can create even more of that sense of frustration that goes with that, right? But the thing is, it doesn't happen all at once. When you're hopeless about something, it's difficult to start. But often once you do just break through that wall, you do start. Now, what the next cards are, they're telling us how to work with that hopelessness or any of the energy that we associate that I've just described. The energy you're being asked to embrace is gratitude. Now, we know that gratitude is one of the highest frequencies. And when we want to shift out of negative, out of powerlessness, out of low frequency of any kind, gratitude is one of the best and fastest ways to do it, because we can almost find something to be genuinely grateful for, even if it is just this moment of sitting comfortably in a chair, this feeling of being full, the sight of my beautiful cat. There's almost always something that we can feel. But more on that. Let's read the gratitude card. This feels big and opens everything, our hearts, minds, and hands. In these moments, we're not grasping. We're free of all yearning, because in that state, our fulfillment is complete. It's a selfless emotion with no demands or hidden agendas. It presents us in our real and powerful vulnerability. In that humble state of vulnerability, we've created the space within us to receive more. Today, give thanks for everything, whether it looks good or bad. Now, the next card that we're getting, which is the activity we're being asked to engage in while we allow ourselves to experience the feeling of gratitude, which of course is the energy of gratitude. And while we're allowing the idea around hopelessness just kind of float in the background to see how it comes up, you're being asked to smile full on. Now, what does that mean? It works perfectly with the quality of feeling. Listen. Does your smile meet your eyes? Does it start in your heart? Today, be aware of letting your smile extend up to your eyes and down into your heart. Your mouth is the connection. This may take a little time until you get the hang of it. Feel the difference in how you feel physically when you do this. Notice how people respond to you. This is important because for a whole bunch of reasons. Smiling is lifting your smile actually is physically very good for you. It changes your energy, it shifts your energy, and it actually opens this part of your body, which allows the energy from your heart to move up to your eyes. Now, when we do that, what we're talking about is we're letting ourselves use our heart chakra to feel. So whatever we're feeling, when we allow ourselves to smile as well and allow the energy to move up into our eyes, what we're doing is we're really literally uniting our heart and our brain. They're in coherence. And in that state, we are in a higher frequency, as we are when we're in gratitude. But also, it allows us to, in that moment, feel gratitude. So whenever you want to enhance a positive feeling, anchor into your heart chakra and be aware of feeling what you can there and letting it extend up. And literally, you can feel it. If you allow it to move up, you'll feel that your cheeks actually want to lift. And it won't stop here. It won't be. It really will be, as I'm smiling now and I'm feeling, oh, my beautiful salt lamp. I'm feeling that quality of it coming up into my eyes. Now, what I will say about this one is, it's so valuable. Whenever you feel hopeless, whenever you feel stuck, whenever you feel powerless, or any of the emotions that I've described to you earlier, or ones that you'll come up with yourself, because you might, moving into that energy of gratitude, allowing yourself to feel it, having the intention to have gratitude, and then using the smile exercise as a way to enhance that gratitude. You're changing things physically. You're changing chemistry. You're changing your body chemistry, which is going to allow you to move out of those chemicals that are associated with negative thought. It's changing your body chemistry. Because the thing is, we can really get stuck and become addicted to the chemicals that are associated with those quality of emotions. And if you want to research this, there are many things out there now in terms of positive neuroplasticity, but Dr. Paul Pearsall, Pearsal, did some of the groundbreaking work on this many, many years ago. And he really talks about it simply and really coherently in a book called Sorry, I just got Super Joy. It's called Super Joy. And it's still in publication. So if you can get your hands on that or read any of his work, it's a really wonderful explanation, because he says, don't feel bad for getting stuck in the negative, because there are many different things that are keeping you there. It's not because you're weak, but there is a chemical addiction to that chain of chemicals that happens when you're negative. So by changing that, by using the gratitude, by smiling full on and creating heart and brain coherence, which you can also research through Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Heart Math, that's a really, really powerful way for you to start changing the dynamic of the chemicals in your body and move it over to the positive. And it's gradual. So let's look at this and see where it shows up, because it won't necessarily show up in all areas. If we felt powerless in one area, then it's going to tend to show there, but we can change that. So I like this for our own self-love. I like this for being able to deal with the chaotic energy that's coming up in the world around us right now. And I'm going to leave you with that because I think that's enough. So take care, my friends. Have fun, and I'll see you again soon.